Okay, so for this one, it's talking about, you need 2 cups of flour for every 2/3 cup of sugar. At this rate, how many cups of sugar should be used if 5 cups of flour is included? Well, for this one, I sort of set up as that proportion that you can see here was 2 cups of flour per 2/3 cup of sugar, and then for 5 cups of flour. So one way to do this is to think, well, look, what do I have to multiply 2 by to get 5? Well, you come over here and do 5 divided by 2. If you do that, that's 2.5. So that's just 5 halves. So if I multiply this by 5 halves or 2.5, I'd get 5. So I'm going to come over here and multiply 2/3 times 5 halves. I'm multiplying by the same thing, right? So that's going to be 10/6. That's the same thing as 5/3. So that would be 5/3 of a cup of sugar. And that should be, in my perfect world, that should be the right answer. Now, there's another way to do this problem. I'm going to show you the other way that you might want to consider doing this problem. Now, the other way to do this problem is to think about maybe unit rates. So unit rates is, I want to know how many cups of sugar should be used if 5 cups of flour. So if I knew how much I needed for 1 cup of flour, I could just multiply that by 5. So then I'm going to set my rate up a little bit differently. I'm going to say 2/3 of a cup of sugar per 2 cups of flour. Because remember, my goal is to find out how much for 1 cup of flour. I'm just going to multiply that by 5. So I can do that. I'll just do this division, 2/3 divided by 2. So that's just going to be 1/3 cup of sugar per 1 cup of flour. And what I want to know is I want to know how much cups of sugar should be used if 5 cups of flour. So if it's 1/3 per 1 cup of flour, I just multiply everything by 5 there, and I have 5/3 of a cup of sugar per 5 cups of flour. So in both of these I get 5/3 of a cup. So no matter how you do it, you're going to come up with the same answer. I don't care how you do it. I just want to make sure that you can explain your thinking sort of like I did here.